everyone. Welcome back to the Cadence Spotlight. My name is Haley, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at Event Cadence. And we created this series to shine a light on our client facing team and some of the amazing experiences they create for our customers. Today, I have with me Amy Touchstone, one of our account leads. So, without further ado, let's get started. Amy, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me. Looking forward to the chat.
It's going to be a fun one because you're an account lead. I know you have a lot of great insights to some of these questions today. So I'm just going to jump right in. The first question I want to ask is why Event Cadence? So when a client is looking at a solution like ours, what do you think from your perspective makes Cadence the right choice?
Yeah, of course I'm biased, but I really think Cadence is the right choice just with our ability to customize it to your team or their team. Anytime you're taking on a new platform, it's daunting, even if it's ultimately going to save you time and make your experience easier. Anytime you're getting into a new platform, there's a daunting aspect to it. So anything we can do to reduce that anxiety and reduce that learning curve where we pull in your logos, pull in your nomenclature, the verbiage that your team is used to using, I just think that really helps get everyone up to speed quicker so you can focus on the fun part, which is making our lives easier with managing congresses. So personally, I think that's the biggest difference.
Absolutely. I think the buy-in at first is always the hardest just because people have been doing things a certain way for a certain amount of time. But
Yep.
then having someone to hold their hand like you and say, just send us this, we'll get you started, and then you can really start to see the benefits of using a platform like ours.
Absolutely. We try to.
And that's, I know, one of the values that we bring to our clients. Do you think that's the most important value, or what do you think is the most important value that we deliver to our clients?
I think that's part of it. And also just the knowledge and experience with Congresses itself. Many of us have been doing Congress work for years, and it's just a very niche aspect of the business that if you don't understand pharma and you don't understand Congresses, there can be quite a learning curve. So having us to combine our personal experience and knowledge with the platform tools just allows for a little bit more of a seamless experience to, again, take some of that load off of your plate.
That's so true. I certainly felt that way. When I first started at Cadence, we've always worked with customers in the life sciences, but we also
Mhm.
had some other sectors of the company that we were doing a bit more work
Mhm.
for during that time. So when I had to make that switch over to the life sciences, it was like learning a whole new
Yeah.
language and even just attending something like ASCO for the first time. Now we're
Mhm.
on our like fifth ASCO. I know how to get
Yeah.
through the McCormick Center, but that first time, you're right, everything feels so new and so different.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes getting used to, but having someone that can kind of hold your hand through that experience is nice.
Totally, definitely specialized. And because we've had so many customers in the life sciences, we've really niched down the tools of our platform. So I know
Mhm.
we have a lot of great features also dedicated to the life sciences. So while we're on the topic of platforms, I know there are some other platforms out there, but what do you think makes our platform stand out?
I really, to your point, just the robust amount of features that are specific to our clients and the way that they operate on site at congresses. And, that exists in the tools that we already have, but also when we're considering our roadmap and what strategic initiatives we're looking to in the future, we're really considering that specific use case and again able to pull in that knowledge and experience into what we're planning for Cadence in the future just to continue making things better and better.
That's so true. It also helps that we have developers on our team. So if we're hearing from one or multiple of our customers that, our lives would be so much easier if we could just do it like this, we're nimble enough that we really can take that feedback, which is a helpful piece too.
Absolutely.
So I mentioned ASCO a little bit before, but
Mhm.
I know that you work at so many different congresses throughout the year. So would you mind sharing an example of a recent congress experience where our team or the platform demonstrated cadence at its best?
Yeah, absolutely. ASCO is a fun one, but we did recently get back from ESMO about a month ago. It was in Berlin. I personally loved Germany. I thought it was lovely. The Congress Center was great, but it was bit different of a layout for people, just frankly. That's feedback we heard from a lot of people. The layout was a little different. For instance, the exhibit floor was really split between 4 halls, which could be a little bit confusing. So with that, there's a lot of personal tools within the platform and also our processes that we just use to ensure that all of the meeting attendees, be it our internal team as well as the scientific leaders they're meeting with, making sure everyone knows where their meeting is happening, has helpful directions to get there, has a contact in case it's the morning of and they're running a little late and the cab dropped them off late and they need someone to talk to. And then just being able to reach out to them, assume someone is late to a meeting, we're able to reach out to them and help them get there on time. So just those personal touches to allow for a seamless experience. Because with something like the Messe of Berlin, it's just a massive venue. So sometimes the hardest part is just getting to where you need to go, and that's one little part that we can help with.
It sounds so simple, just getting people where they need to be, but when you multiply that by, 10 teams with however many people on the team, it's thousands of people. I think ESMO had like 30,000 or something
Mhm.
this year. So while it sounds simple, it's certainly not. And like you said, there are changes all the time too. Someone's flight got canceled. Now we have to switch rooms. And now if you were just using Outlook invites, maybe that specific room isn't open at that time. Now you're actually on the other side of the building. So having a software like ours, I imagine, makes it much easier for your clients to get where they need to be.
Absolutely. Anything that, again, talking about anxiety reduction, it's just natural to be nervous when you're traveling in a new place. There's so many variables. So any variables that we can smooth out for them, we really try to.
Totally. And I know we have a lot of great features to help with that. Do you
Mhm.
have a specific favorite feature, something that you love showing off to the clients, or something that, makes your life easier? What do you think is your favorite feature of the platform?
Yeah, I think I'm biased because of the amount of time I work in it, but I really love the appointment suite. Again, I'll say it can be as robust as you need it to, but it also can be very simple. If you really are just needing, a calendar placeholder for a meeting where you just have date, time, location, we can keep it very simple. But for all of those factors, objectives for a meeting, any topics, any relevant, tags for a meeting that might help with reporting and analytics and, getting the details from those appointments after the fact. It really is very robust to be able to, one, plan those meetings, conduct the outreach to get meetings scheduled, but then, on the back end, also being able to pull reports and, post Congress, figure out what did we do and what went well and what can we improve for next time. Just having that actionable feedback right there in the platform is so helpful.
Absolutely. And you could make a case that sure, you could store that information somewhere else, perhaps. But what's nice about Cadence is now you have all of that historical data. So when you're thinking about ASCO again or ESMO
Mhm.
again for the following year, you have the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years of all of that data from the past events that you can implement for the future.
Absolutely.
And I also love the appointment suite. I just have to throw that in. I feel like that's going to be a popular one as I continue to ask these questions, but it's
Yeah.
definitely a good one.
Absolutely. And it connects to the, KOLs too, so that web on the back end, if you've had ASCO for the past few years and you've met with the same scientific leader the past few years, their profile also has that web feature where you can see past engagements, see what other teams. So it's really helpful if you do have a new member of the team wondering what is our history with this person, you have that right there in the platform and kind of helps people get up to speed a little quicker.
That's such a great distinction to call out. It's so true. It's not just from the event level, it's also from the KOLs, the SLs themselves. And, like you said, maybe someone's starting new with this team this year. So now they have that data on their side or the background, not even just data. So great point. Now that we talked a little bit about the features and the platform, I would love to know um, how this all came together. So maybe like a client success story that you've seen that showed the impact that we can make, that our platform, that our team, how much impact we can make for a client.
Absolutely. I will say the two main things, and we get a lot of feedback. The two main things I hear most often are one, and just the time and the efficiency of the process versus maybe what they were doing in the past, and also the visibility. So on the time end, worst case scenario, I say worst case, all this info might just be in a spreadsheet, right? Somewhere, which absolutely gets the job done, but someone is having to go in and manually update all of these things. And just being able to pull all of that into a process that is optimized, where we can, streamline a lot of that work for them and save the time, it's a huge win. There's a lot that goes into Congress planning. Engagements are just one tiny piece of that. So anytime we can give them back to be able to focus on some of those other planning activities is a big win. But kind of on that spreadsheet point, it's also just a bit of visibility. In our world, a lot of times, whether with our internal colleagues or with KOLs, we're working across time zones, across various regions, and we all have different, working hours anyways. And so oftentimes with the previous process, you're waiting for someone to receive an email confirmation from some personal outreach they did, and then update in a spreadsheet somewhere that we have a confirmed appointment with that person. And so you're just, hoping that all of this is getting updated efficiently. Having it on the platform, any person at any time can log on and see the current state of outreach. I know I'm leaning on appointments, but see the current state of what invites have been sent out, who we've heard back from, whether, they confirmed and we now have a date and time, if they've declined and let us know, oh, I'm actually not attending ASCO this year. That's good information to have, so we don't have other teams within the organization chasing this person that's already told us that they're not attending that year. So just that high level visibility where across collaborative teams that may not work directly together in their office, they're able to efficiently work together in the platform to get ready for whatever the next Congress is that they're going to on site.
That is such an important piece that you called out there. It really is that bird's eye view across the whole organization. I know there's also a great feature we have, mutual requests. So if
Mm-hmm.
one team is looking to meet with Dr. Smith and so is another, let's get Dr. Smith there just one time. He doesn't need to walk all the way across the McCormick Center. I keep using that
Right.
one twice, right? And it makes you look put together to the KOLs, and it's just so much more efficient for the organization.
Absolutely. Let them find our organization once. And even if it's, teams that can't meet together from a compliance perspective, we still just make it one meeting time for them. And we can swap in and out our internal team members for those relevant objectives and topics, but we've still made it a more pleasant experience for them. And I think that helps the relationship with the KOL oftentimes.
Absolutely. These questions have been, or I'm sorry, the answers to my questions have been so helpful. I just have one more for you today. With the holidays coming up, I'd love to know if there's something that you're especially grateful for, whether it's about your role, someone on our team, or our team in general, or the work you do at Cadence. Is there something you are thankful for this year?
Oh, I feel like I have so much to be thankful for, working at Cadence and just working with the people that we do. And really, it is the people, both internally, our Cadence team. I love everyone that we work with. We all get along very well and have, really great camaraderie. That's one of the best parts about going on site to these congresses is getting to catch up with our internal team, but also the clients we work with. I just feel like we've gotten so lucky and have the best clients ever. I work with the nicest people, and with anything, we all work very hard in our respective fields, and the people can really make or break that experience and make that work, feel more pleasant or make it, more of a thorn. So I really feel lucky to just work with the best people ever.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. I could not agree more. I think we have really great people in Cadence, around Cadence, and it does make such a difference, especially as we move into this AI world. Really, those human relationships, those human touch points are going to mean all the much more as we continue on.
Absolutely. You have to have the human touch in there still. It's very important.
Absolutely. Well, on that, I think that's all my questions for you today. So, Amy, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
And if you're interested in learning more about Event Cadence, you can go to our website, eventcadence.com, or you can reach out on any of our social media platforms. Thanks again, Amy. Have a great day.
Thanks, Hailey. Bye.